decision is costing you a lot of money, okay? So offers, calls to action. So I just got a few examples here, guys, where, I told you about my 45-minute turnaround. So this is how you can take it. You're going to go to chiropractors. I do 50-minute marketing makeovers for chiropractic practices. I guarantee I can find you 9,550 minutes without spending a dollar on marketing or advertising. The general new business for chiropractors, 50-minute makeovers.com, okay? I'm ex-military. I do 40-minute marketing audits for dentists. I can find you 25 grand in 40 minutes without spending a cent on marketing or advertising. The 40minuteaudit.com. You can read them here, guys. You see, here's one for a realtor. What do I got here? Here's one for accountants. I conduct 59-minute profit audits for accountants. I guarantee I can double any accountant's current revenue and profits without increasing their current marketing or advertising budget. I can find you $100,000 of new client revenue in 45 minutes without spending a dollar on marketing or advertising. This is what I perform 39-minute marketing makeovers for daycares. I guarantee I can introduce you to 50 affluent families in less than 39 minutes without spending a cent on marketing or advertising. Okay, so again, and what you're doing is you're sitting down with them, guys, and I know sometimes that sounds a little bit, wow, that's a pretty huge undertaking. Not at all, guys. You'll be surprised that the opportunity for you to be able to go and significantly make these changes and make these improvements will just blow you away. So you will be able to do that. It's going to be a lot easier than you assume. But again, part of our training is that we'll walk you through step by step to do that. So again, guys, if you want to get together, though, online membership is what this is all about. And one of the things you want to earn $187,000 your first 9 months online as a coach, but you should really get together with us, because let me tell you, we will walk you through step by step, chronological order, give you word-for-word scripts of everything you're going to need to basically take yourself from where you're at and then put a system in place that's going to create an environment where you have got more leads than you know what to do with, where your phone is ringing off the hook and you're going to get annoyed on Monday morning because instead of staring at your inbox and wondering, I wish somebody would email me and say, hey, come get together, you're trying to work out how you're going to fit all the appointments in. Wouldn't that be a nice change? That is exactly and legitimately what we're able to do for you, okay? So now that brings me to, so go to, if you want to get together, coachingclientsnow.com. Again, get a one-to-one chat together with us, and it might be a fit, and it might not be. Again, I'm legitimately, look, we are going to spend $5,000 to get you started, just to be clear. Okay, and by the way, I used to charge $50,000 for an engagement to basically become a business coach underneath my program. That's not going to be the case. I'm going to lose money and literally spend $5,000 to train you guys, to get you up to speed, to get you cranking, to get you moving online, okay? So with that being said, go to Coaching Clients Now. We will walk you through that, and I promise you this, you're going to book an hour with me. I will not waste your time that much. That's my commitment. So as far as building a list, guys, this is not a strategy. It is the strategy, okay? Eyeballs you control. Basically, your list, your membership, this is traffic you control. Eyeballs that you pay for, leverage, so this is ads, joint ventures, LinkedIn, Facebook messages. These are, this is traffic that you effectively are leveraging, okay? Eyeballs you have no control over, shares, SEO, mentions, that kind of thing. So this is sort of on social media. You need a compelling offer, a landing page, not a website. So the same way that Luke sent you an email and said, look, I've got this presentation on, click the link. You go to a landing page, you guys have got to have the equivalent of that, and now once you put it up, that's not enough. Now we got to come up with compelling messaging, compelling wording. We got to take people out of state when they get there so that they actually part with their name and their email address, okay? Best way to build a list fast is to have a membership without question, and not only build a list, but all of a sudden find an incredibly responsive list, because once you start paying, it's like, the politicians and whatnot. How much money do they ask you for when they're going to become president? $5, $10, $25. They're not, sure, that dough adds up a little bit. But let me tell you what they're doing. Once you throw $5 behind the Republicans, behind the Democrats, behind the, the Labor, wherever you live, behind the political party, well, now all of a sudden you're going to become a raving fan. Now you start recommending. Now you start talking about it. Now you start, arguing with your friends over your party's policies and the things that they're going to do if they get in, whether it raise taxes, lower taxes, what have you, okay? So when you build a list, and it's a membership where they're paying a few bucks. They're so incredibly responsive, it'll blow you away. Hence, an online membership is something you need. You must email your list regularly with a call to action, okay? You have got, again, this is just something you have to do. If I had $1 for every time I've read an email and read something that I thought was very, very good, and then I'm sitting there looking at it going, where's the call to action? Why aren't they asking me to do something, right? And again, the reason why is, are you willing to look like a bit of an ass? We're scared to send out the emails and put the offer because, heaven forbid, what if nobody replies? That's 100% the wrong attitude. I love this from Frank Kern. We make more money because we make more offers. We just spent $20,000 with Frank Kern doing a program with him, and the nuts and bolts of it, talking. But basically, this quote was made, and I said, stop, 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 stop. Say that again. And then I literally wrote it down, and this is what they said. I just said, there is incredible power to that. I want you guys to think, forget Frank Kern, forget my company, forget Luke. How many offers do you make? And how many offers, different offers, do you have? And then once you pitch it once, how often do you go back to them? Do you go back to them 8 times and say, do you want to buy, do you want to buy, do you want to buy, do you want to buy? Or do you give up after the first no or the first maybe? Okay, and we know the answer to that, right? So you got to make sure, persistence is the measure of one's self-esteem. Last week we sent out 600 random emails to our database, got 23 appointments straight into our calendar. And by the way, this is not our paid list. This is just our general database. Okay, 600 emails out, 23 appointments. This isn't a reply. This isn't a, hey, get me more information. This is literally an appointment straight into the calendar. Think of the power of that, guys. Incredible, okay? Or at least in my opinion it is. Press send, make recurring income. We get business coaches clients, period. You see along the bottom. Again, guys, this is, and by the way, that's some of the messaging that we have internally, all right? So very quickly, what I want to do now is I want to take you somewhere. And I'm just going to, just give me a sec here, guys. I want to show you, because you might be sitting there thinking, okay, so what does this recurring website look like? What does this thing, you guys are going to see live, like just go straight to my, my website. So effectively, guys, this is what you've got, okay? So we're going to build you an online membership, and it's effectively going to look a lot like this. So let me explain a little bit about what we're about. Our company, Leader Publishing Worldwide, is the largest provider of online coaching services and training available anywhere today. In fact, we're now the largest coach-to-coaches company on the planet. Right now, we have more than 500 business coaches in 23 countries working with us on a monthly basis, and over 200 of those coaches have been with us for longer than 3 years on a recurring basis. Our mission is to help small business owners on a global level, and we've set a goal basically to help 1 million small business owners within the next 10 years. And unfortunately, my business partner, Adrian Alsh, and I, we're not going to be able to do it on our own. The best way we can do it is to partner with you guys, the qualified business coaches who share our passion. For those coaches we partner with, we'll literally hand you a proven, tested process that has enabled me and my partner, Adrian. We have actually built 7 seven-figure coaching companies from a standing start. We'll teach you how to do the exact same thing. We'll teach you how to generate all the high-dollar coaching clients you can handle, to the ways we can help your coaching clients generate immediate increases in their revenue and profits. You see, we have the unprecedented ability to separate you from every other coach on the planet. I'm willing to help you position yourself in a league all of your own as a business coach, and in the process help you totally and completely dominate the coaching market. At the same time, I want to make sure, that you're in this as well. We need you to be serious, because the opportunity I've got for you is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not like instant riches overnight. This is a legitimate career opportunity for the coaches we select into this program, and a lucrative one at that. I can honestly tell you that I can have you well into 6-figure incomes or in that range, and notwithstanding, I can have you into multiple 6 figures if you follow our roadmap in 24 months. Some do, some don't. This is not magic, but if you follow the roadmap, the fruits are going to be impressive. But that isn't a free ride, by the way. There's some work involved at your end, just as there is any type of career. For example, if we decide to partner with you, I'll set you up with 90 days of initial support and training with our one-to-one coach, and he's one of the top training coaches in the world. He'll make sure you know our systems, our processes inside out, and basically he's going to get you started like in 90 days. You're just going to be, basically you're not going to hit a walk, you're going to be hitting a run. You'll sign up as many $12,000 to $50,000 coaching clients as you can handle, and I can teach you step-by-step, paint-by-numbers, a sales process that will enable you to meet with any prospective coaching client and blow them completely out of the water. They literally will be afraid to let you walk out of their office without signing a 12-month coaching contract with fear that you're going to go to the competition. And speaking of contracts, okay, during my 2 days of training, I'm going to show you how your lowest priced coaching program is going to be $1,000 a month with a 12-month agreement, plus a 20% profit contingency built into that. This means you're going to get paid $1,000 a month for 12 months, and every quarter you'll receive a 20% contingency on all the profits. And how's that sound for your profitability? But here's the problem. I train a lot of coaches around the world, and I would conservatively estimate that 90% of them have no clue how to help their clients improve their profits instantly. That's 90% that can't walk in the door and make an impact day one. That's why I created an online coaching system where I've archived everything I've used successfully for more than 20 years to help small business owners in more than 400 different business types see dramatic increases in both their revenue and their profits immediately. So if we decide to partner together, I'm going to build you one of these online coaching programs, and it's going to have your name, your picture, your brand all over it. Okay? The preeminence factor this is going to provide is going to blow you off the wall. How many coaches do you know that have their very own $1 million online coaching program? You'll be joining a small but elite group of coaches that have this type of site, and you can also customize it in any way you want so it truly becomes yours. But let me explain the benefits of this site if we provide it to you. Right now, do you have any form of hands-free online coaching program that will enable you to monetize prospects that simply don't have the money available? Do you ever speak with coaching prospects who can't afford your services? What do you currently, if you get all of them to pay you, say $1,200 a year, so that'd be, what, $100 a month, how much additional revenue would you estimate that would make per year? And let me help you with the math. So if you've got 50 people you follow up with at $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year, that would be $60,000 in recurring revenue. That additional revenue have a dramatic impact on your firm financial situation? In what specifically, and is that important to you? So is that time with your kids? Is that a trip to Disneyland? Is that all of a sudden December's here and you know that you're not going to be making many coaching sales and not having to worry about it, knowing that, you know, there's $5,000 that's going to hit your bank account anyways, right? Well, my online coaching program is step-by-step, paint by numbers, and it's going to enable you to sign up thousands of online coaching clients because the entire program is completely hands-free to you. We do all the coaching for you, including the weekly group coaching. You simply charge these clients a small monthly fee, and you determine what the fee should be. Most of our coaches charge, you know, $97 to $197 a month, although some of our higher-end guys charge as much as $497 with zero time for money for their online members. The great thing about this site is it gives you the ability to monetize every single prospect you speak with about coaching service, regardless of their current financial situation. And no doubt, guys, if you're like me, do you sit with a lot of folks that are broke on a regular basis, guys? But that's not all. I want you also to be able to use this site to help you coach your one-to-one coaching clients as well. The site contains all of the strategies, tactics, and resources I've used over the years to help my clients completely dominate their markets. The resources I have here will help you coach clients faster and with less time and effort on your part, so you can coach more high-dollar coaching clients than you can right now. Best of all, your clients will be able to see immediate increases in both their revenue and their profits, again, enabling them to keep paying you. So this online program accomplishes two things. You can coach more clients one-to-one and make more money. And for those that can't afford your coaching, you can now monetize each and every one of them and start building a lucrative monthly passive income. One more thing, this site will also belong to you. All the revenue it produces is yours. So it's not like an affiliate program where we get the money and then we spend it, we send it to you when we feel like it. We're like a coaching franchise where we take a hefty % of your total revenue. You keep every cent you generate, and in the process, you're building a lucrative asset that you can sell. Since this is your site and the revenue is all yours, you can elect to sell this down the road to somebody else or another coach that you meet or that you're working with, or a young coach that might be working for you and under you. So let's say you enroll 100 members into this online program at $100 a month. Your annual revenue would be $120,000. Could easily sell that site for somewhere between $250,000 to $375,000. Guys, again, let me just repeat that. So imagine down the road, 3 years, 5 years, you're done coaching, and you get the cash out for $250,000 to $375,000. Okay, right now your existing coaching, you're telling it's time for money, it's coaching on a monthly basis, but as soon as you leave those folks, you know what happens. The deal is over, the business isn't worth anything. Okay, so we can change that. When you start creating an online membership, all of that shifts. And again, you get to keep every cent of that sale. Imagine the payday of $250,000 in one day. You owe us nothing to sell your site. The only thing you ever pay us is a small monthly fixed fee that covers the licensing of our content and helps us covering the the maintenance and whatnot 24/7, 365. So we have about 13 full-time staff. We do nothing more and nothing less than build out this system. And then notwithstanding, we manage it all for you to make sure that IT problems will never be a challenge. So again, does that sound pretty fair? So I would assume so. So let's have a quick look. So guys, looking at your screen here, so this is my online coaching platform right here. Okay, so we put your picture, your name, your brand. I got over 36 different designs. So you make this look like it's your own. Okay, so your members come here. They're going to click, okay, let's go in. Boom. So now this is the back end. Okay, so this is how you know that effectively you're going to have like an admin area where you can see your members going in and going out, the ones that are active, the ones that haven't engaged, and that's going to allow you to understand who you should be reaching out to and who you shouldn't, okay? Or nobody that you shouldn't be reaching out, but who you have a higher level of probability of being able to sell a home study course, selling into your, your event, selling into high dollar coaching, that kind of thing, okay? And now this is the back end. We spent over $1 million building this website. And check it out. So this is the dashboard here. Okay, so again, we keep it really dummy proof, so you don't have to worry about some, complex process and for your clients coming in here and becoming completely overwhelmed. The first thing that your users will do is they'll come in here, fill out this diagnostic, because we can't provide you the solution unless we know where you are now. Okay, so we fill this out around leads, conversions, transactions, pricing, and profits. And now they'll press analyze. The system starts to think. There's an algorithm built into the system. And now depending upon their answers will totally depend on what the roadmap looks like. And the entire system adjusts according to their answers. Okay, so again, imagine from a sales process point of view how powerful that is to be able to position it that day one, the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to build your marketing roadmap for you. Okay, and then no doubt you know that most business owners are pretty, like lead generation is a major challenge for them, right? Well, step number one of the 5 steps, okay, the system, and very importantly, the system is built on a 5-step methodology guaranteed to double any business owner's profit. So again, I don't have time to go through that today, but feel comfortable that it's not spray and pray where your clients are going to come back here and we're going to confuse the crap out of them. And then our argument is going to be, geez, if he just found one of the strategies, if he just deployed one of these ways that we gave him to build his business, he'd make a ton. That's not a good strategy. You always got to, accelerate. You've got to provide them a step-by-step roadmap on how to be coached by you. You've got to be able to train them, like I said, like your little puppy dog. You've got to be able to train them, and the better you are at that, the more fruitful, the more successful, and the more long-lasting your client relationships are going to be. Now check this out, guys. So I go into lead generation, and I talked about earlier how we had pre-built marketing in 120 different categories of business. So imagine if you were going to pick a niche and we had a marketing system already built out for you. Okay, would that be pretty cool? So let me give you an example. Like, let's click on daycare here, and imagine that you want to go to a daycare. What if you had a $50,000 marketing system built before you started the coaching relationship? Do you think that might strengthen your resolve? Do you think that might make them feel a little bit more comfortable about moving forward? Do you think your value proposition all of a sudden on the front end, that they're going to pay you $1,000 a month and you're going to give them a $50,000 marketing system up front ready to go on day one? Do you think your conversions might go up a little bit? And the answer is absolutely, notwithstanding your confidence in being able to coach these guys. So if I were you guys, I'd be thinking, okay, well, look, Carl, you built these $50,000 marketing systems, but my question is, like, how do you build a marketing system like you charge 50 grand? Like, does the client get ripped off, or is that the smartest thing they've ever done, or what would that look like? Well, let me start. You guys, I talked about the big idea, the unique selling proposition. Well, I want you guys to picture this. Let's say that you own a daycare, I own a daycare. Okay, let's say that you're in Sydney, Australia, and we're 15 minutes down the road from one another. Okay? your daycare has a web watch where the parents could log on the internet and watch the kids and make sure they're safe and having fun, and I could just watch my girls rip around. And at the other daycare, they don't have a web watch. Okay, and by the way, Grandma and Grandpa live in Melbourne, or they live in London, they live in Toronto, Canada. They could log on the internet and watch the grandkids rip around as well. Which daycare would you choose to send your kids to? And I think the answer is pretty darn obvious, but you'd be picking this one all day long. And think about the accountability that they're bringing to the table when they're providing, letting you watch the kids all day, right? Like they're, nobody's getting spanked on the bum with the wooden spoons if you're letting these kids, if you're letting everybody log on the internet and watch the kids, okay? And anybody worried about, changing nappies and changing diapers, obviously that's done in the special rooms. There's no concerns around that. We're just talking about the general area where the kids are ripping around, having fun, and where they spend most of their time most of their time during the day. Do you see how the web watch all of a sudden sets them apart from the competition totally? And by the way, what if you charge an extra $100 a month over my daycare without the web watch? Do you think you'd probably still get the kids? And the answer is yes. And by the way, I have a client who sold his daycares for $10 million. Okay, the average daycare shuts the doors and turns the lights off when they get sick of changing somebody else's diapers or nappies, okay? And my client sells his daycares for $10 million. Ask me the question, Carl, what was the difference between his and all these other daycares that just shut the doors? He became an accelerated learning center, okay, where the kids that went to his daycare, he called it Little Harvard, and the kids that came to his daycare would basically be expected to go into grade 1 with a grade 4 reading, writing, and arithmetic ability. Imagine if your mom and dad, you got a 3, 4, 5-year-old, where would you want to send your kid? To the Accelerated Learning Center or the other daycare? The answer is obvious, right? Okay, well, and again, the difference, guys, very importantly, is a daycare that sells for $10 million and one that shuts the phone off, right? Absolutely life-changing. So as an example, so there's a more complex walkthrough of how we go about doing that, but then that's where we build a $50,000 marketing system. But we started with that big idea. We started with the unique selling proposition the same way that we encourage you to start your marketing. And again, we've got that in 120 different categories of business. Now, do you think I've just given you the confidence to go and take on a daycare and probably do some pretty cool stuff and start charging them $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month to speak to them once a week and help them deploy their game plan and achieve their goals? Okay, and the answer should be absolutely. And let me position something differently. Okay, so now let's say that you're a coach, I'm a coach, and we're both bucking to get that client. You're going to show up with a $25,000 to $50,000 marketing system, and I'm showing up with my pen and order book and a nice suit. Which coaching client would you sign up? The answer is pretty obvious, right? And then notwithstanding, so let's say we're now both going to the accountant, and we're trying to get the accountant on board, and we're trying to get the accountant to partner with us. Well, one of us has again, this website you're looking at cost over $1 million, taken 7 years to build it, right? Well, imagine one of us had their picture, name, and brand, had their own $1 million online coaching platform, and then the other coach didn't. Which coaching client do you think the accountant's more likely to partner with? Pretty darn obvious, right? So what we do is we become your market dominating position, your unique selling proposition, okay? So again, very, very powerful. And, we've already got all that stuff built. We've also got a 52-week curriculum I mentioned earlier. Imagine having your face, name, and brand on this, okay? And as you can see the way there's 44 lessons that are bold, and then you can't see 45, 46. So again, it's built on a recurring income model where if you stop paying, you stop getting access to the videos. Real simple, okay? And then, by the way, each video is step-by-step, chronological order. There's an audio version for those that want to listen in the car while they drive. There's a video version for those that want to sit behind the computer and watch. There's a downloadable workbook, and there's text for every single lesson. And you ask why? Well, I speed read, right? So I personally would read before I'd watch a video all day long. In fact, I won't watch your videos. So you could build the best program on the internet, bar none, and if it was video-based, no matter how badly I personally wanted it, you would not keep me longer than a couple of weeks because I'm simply not going to go and watch your videos and sit behind the computer. It's not going to happen, okay? So again, we've got that ready to go for all the different modalities, okay? And then everything's here. There's over 200 hours of step-by-step instructional video on how to go about like everything, goal setting, time management, staff recruitment, staff training, staff development, leadership, cutting cost, developing a sales process. These are the types of conversations you're having with your clients. Well, every video, like there's over 200 hours of instructional video, so imagine every time you finish the coaching call with one of your coaching clients, charging them $1,000 a month, if you had a 20-minute video that you could now send them to support the call. Could you see how that tremendously increases the value that you're bringing to the table? And way more importantly, the small business owner now has the opportunity to go and listen and read, because you and I have a call on, say, Monday for our coaching call. I don't care how good of a student I am and how badly I want to learn, I forget 80% of what you said on the coaching call. It's just planet Earth stuff, guys, right? But if you have a video to support it, I can go back to it, and I can watch it once, I can watch it twice, I can watch it 5 times, I can press pause, go have lunch with my kids, and then come back to it. I can rewind, I can fast forward. It's an incredible value add to your coaching, to the point where, to be quite frank with you, and again, I've been very successful in the coaching space. I mean, there's just not a chance on God's green earth that I would ever coach without having this system. Or, by the way, guys, I'm showing the anatomy of an online coaching system. So guess what? Go build your own. Okay, again, I'm going to tell you, it's taken years to be able to build anything like what we have here. But at the end of the day, this is just the anatomy that I'm walking you through. You've got to have these resources to go to these folks. And I would assume that it makes real logical sense for you to partner with us and say, well, look, why don't you guys build it for me? Why don't we work with you? But anyway, so that's the foundation of the system. Now, once you've got that, another thing that you've got to do is you have got to have some resources. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to, oopsie, hang on. I'm just going to open up my resource section here very quickly. Coaches Marketing Center. Okay, so now let's have a look, because there's one thing, like we built a better mousetrap, but the question is, you know, how are we going to help you sell the mousetrap? Because this is where we're magic, guys. If you partner with us, one of the major reasons you partner with us is because we help you get coaching clients. Okay, this is where we're incredibly good. So generating leads, getting prospective coaches on the phone, you know, building up that, you know, that client base and that recurring income, and getting, you know, effectively the attention of the small business owners is your challenge. We can help you with that big time. Let me give you, like, this is basically Coaches Marketing Center. When you become a member of ours, you get access to our proprietary material. And as an example, let's say that you agree going to the Chamber of Commerce or the accountant is a good idea. Well, most of you will come, so we'll click JV Chamber Program. All of these files open up. You say, hey, Carl, I want to go and approach the chamber. Instead of, you know, you ask me for tips and tricks, I don't send you tips, I don't send you tricks, I don't send you how-to videos. I send you word for word the exact letter that I've sent the chamber successfully, and say, put your name on the bottom. Okay, now the chamber says, holy smokes, that's pretty amazing. Now here's the exact letter we've had the chamber send out very successfully. Again, you put your name on the bottom. And by the way, guys, you've got your own style, so I'm not suggesting in any way you should just put your name on the bottom of our stuff, but adjust it slightly to suit your, you know, your personality, but it's a completed product ready to go. If you're going to go to the accountants, the chamber, and you want to do a speaking event, you're going to need a landing page to drive traffic to. There's your landing page, boom, put your picture on it. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, what am I going to say in this presentation? Again, tips, tricks, how-to videos, none of that. I just give you word for word. This is exactly what I say in my 2-hour webinar. And in fact, I even tell you where to press click. I give you 104 pre-populated PowerPoint slides, and I tell you where to press pause for 5 seconds for impact. Again, do you think that might be pretty impressive and helpful? And literally, guys, I have run hundreds of seminars, hundreds of webinars, as is my business partner, Adrian. If any of this, Adrian is probably the number of all the marketing guys I have met on the planet. He is like, if I have a marketing problem, I don't phone Jay Abraham, I don't phone Dan Kennedy, I phone Adrian Olsch, and he's my business partner. Okay, so again, tons of incredible step-by-step roadmap and, you know, procedures here for you to just literally be able to follow. Foot in door strategies, trifold brochure, basically it's done. Press release, let's say you want to do a press release and you want to get on NBC and ABC and all that sort of stuff. Boom, or you just want to get known locally, you want to build up a little bit of that celebrity, a little bit of that preeminence. Boom, here's your press release. Cold call scripts of all shapes and sizes. Look, we've got it right here. Okay, so everything you'll ever need to drive traffic and everything you'll ever need to basically get coaching clients, we've effectively got right there. Okay, And notwithstanding, so let me give you a couple other ideas on how you could use an online coaching platform. And once again, just to be real clear, guys, with the offer, Luke sort of mentioned at the beginning, and I'm going to mention it here again. You want to get together, you want to get one of our online coaching programs, you're talking to the guy who's going to spend the money to get you started. We're literally going to invest $5,000. You will have to spend a few $100s a month to cover our IT fees and whatnot. And when we get together with it one-to-one, I'll explain the different levels and how that all works, but feel very, very comfortable. It's very laid-back agreement. You're going to be able to test the waters. We're going to invest $5,000 in your training and a one-to-one coach to get you up and started. And effectively, we're going to help you take that business coaching company you've got and take it to an entirely new level. We also turn you into an author. We give you a home study course with your name, picture, and branding on it. Again, explain all that when we get together. The whole system is built for you, though, to make sure you become that local celebrity, you become that, super preeminent one. All right, so again, go to coachingclientsnow.com, and we'll get together one-to-one. I believe Luke has already sent it to you in the chat box there, so you can just click the link. But again, grab an hour. We'll walk through all this stuff. There's so much more that I could be showing you. Like I said, I got 8 hours of content here, guys, and there's some backdoor stuff that I'm not showing you here that I just can't. I'd have to do it one-to-one. That is just going to knock your socks off as far as how we do things on LinkedIn and that sort of stuff. Okay, so coachingclientsnow.com. On that note, so you guys say, okay, Karl, well, further, remember, selling is a transfer of belief. My job here today is to make sure you guys feel very, very comfortable and believe that we could help you get, the attention on the internet, the recurring income happening online, and very importantly, get those high-dollar coaching clients rolling through. So say you got 10 clients at $1,000 a month, which would be $120,000 of recurring coaching revenue with 10 calls a week or 10 calls every second week. So public speaking is a great way to do it, okay? Got a guy, he followed our system step by step, chronological order, put 114 people in a room. His name is S.J. Pretorius. He's in South Africa. He put 114 people in a room. He sold 87 of them a $1,200 12-month membership from the floor. Okay, so basically, you do that math, that's $104,400 he made in one day, one presentation. Okay, we've got that word for word, process, and there's a step-by-step process and the word-for-word transcript of what he said and what you would say to be able to accomplish the same thing on that day. Okay, another Jeff Kirkwood, I mentioned him earlier. He did a world speaking tour every year. The last world speaking tour he did, he came home, he stayed in the best, flew, very independently wealthy guy, just to be clear. He's all about impact. He just passed away recently. He was a client of mine for about 5 years, loved the man dearly. But he would do a world speaking tour every year, and he would close from the front of the room $1,000 for 12 months. He had a 50% conversion, so not quite as good as SJ, but his conversions were 50%, zero time for money. If he had a room, if he had 20, when I say world speaking tour, we're not talking about talking to like thousands of people and rooms for, 10,000 business owners. I'm talking to rooms of 20, rooms of 50. 100 was a big room. So if he had 20 people in the room, he made $10,000 because he sold 10 of them a $1,000 program. If he had 50 people, he made 25 grand in an hour or two. If he had 100 people, he made 50 grand in an hour or two. Okay? So, and we've got the word-for-word transcripts of what to say and the kind of offers you make at the end. Okay? So speaking can be very, very profitable, and all of a sudden you got that online income. It provides all the preeminence in the world. And it's like becoming an author is good, but you walk into the accountant's office, you drop your book on the table, and then guess what happens? It goes on the bookshelf, and he forgets you exist in 90 days. An online program, they get emails from you every single week. Okay, so now you're in their inbox providing solutions and, giving them things to think about and sort of rattling the marketing cage on a weekly basis. So your preeminence grows. When they all of a sudden looking for, that's the chamber, the board of the chairman of the board of the chamber, and he's getting your emails every week. They need a speaker. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to press reply. Boom, he's speaking to you. Okay, so here's another example you can use the system for. When you've got product instead of service, go to a joint venture partner, the accountant, the magazine, the newspaper, let's say a radio station. Go to the radio station and give them 3 memberships up front for free. I want you to be Santa Claus, not the Grinch, okay? Give no expectation of clients, no expectation of anything apart from, I want to give these to you because I know these business owners need the help. They're going to say, wow, Karl, thank you so much. Look, that's amazing. Say, well, what should we do with this, what should we do with this? Well, here's what you do. You run a draw on the radio that says, hey, if you want 2016 to be your best year yet, you really want to knock your sales projections out of the water, be 15th caller. Okay, and we're going to give a free 12-month mentorship to profitbeforeyouPay.com. Let's say they get 50 calls, the 15th caller wins. Guess what? The radio station now has 50 people to follow up and sell advertising to. Do you think you're now in their good books a little bit? And the answer is absolutely. Okay, so now they're going to come back, and this is when the JV happens. They come back and say, hey, Karl, can we get another 3, please? And by the way, guys, again, the goal is to build rapport and to establish a relationship. The biggest mistake you can make is to try get those joint venture relationships to happen too quickly. So when I give them the 3 memberships and they're signing on a couple freebies and whatnot, they're going to have questions. I'm going to have questions. There's going to be banter back and forth, and now I'm solidifying a relationship. Now they come back and say, hey, can we get another 3, please? Boom. Welcome to the joint venture. Okay, so how do they do that? Look, I want $3,000 up front, or I want to do a joint seminar in your boardroom on how to jack up the results of your advertising spend, or I want a $10,000 radio spot over the radio, or I want you to send out an email to my guided tour for my online coaching platform at $200 a month, and I'll give everybody a free $1 test drive for the first 30 days. Do you see how you build the relationship, and in phase 2 you form the joint venture, not in phase 1, but roll up like Santa Claus? Here's the problem. If you guys don't have an online coaching platform, you don't have a product, you're not able to go and give anything away except for your time, and that's already your number 1 problem. That's your Achilles heel. So this allows you to be able to exponentially grow your time, because now you can just give these away. And by the way, I'm not magic. I've got to go and give these, like those memberships, to 10 radio stations to get the 3 that follow through. Okay, but if you've got 3 radio stations sending you coaching clients, believe me, lead generation is no longer a problem for you. The same way that, Luke and I partner up, and basically he sends out an email and puts 200 people into a webinar. Imagine the power of that, guys, literally on an email. Okay, so you guys have got that power too, but you got to be able to establish these relationships, and you got to build up that credibility. The other thing you can do is go to the radio station, go to the accountant, give them a membership on your website for, basically, like, they're interested in talking to you, they're interested in forming this partnership, they're interested in having you as their speaker. Say, look, go take me for a test drive. Let me give you a username and a password and go into the back end of my system and go poke your nose around. Okay, so do you see how all of a sudden that time for credibility gets broken down significantly, because they're going in and watching your video and reading your emails and seeing your content, which is all world class, by the way. So now all of a sudden they're going to be like, wow, like, this guy's the real deal. This gal is it, right? Well, now your opportunity to get that deal done significantly increases. And the metaphor I give for that is, would you buy my car for $40,000 if I didn't let you take it for a test drive? The answer is no. Well, don't expect the accountant to put his company and his reputation on the line, because you want some coaching clients because you're broke. Right? That's basically what most coaches are going to the accountant and saying. Right? So again, thinking about that. So again, joint venture. This gives you the opportunity to go and give away, be Santa Claus. Do it for the radio. Do it for the magazine. Do it for the accountant. Do it for the business broker. Guys, if you haven't accomplished your business coaching goals and you haven't gone to the level you want, it's really simple. It's because you don't have enough lead generation. That's it. Lock, stock, barrel. The easiest form of lead generation, online, offline, doesn't matter, is always going to be getting a joint venture partner who's already got the relationship. Okay, but you've got to practice. And by the way, my question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? And are you willing to look like an idiot a couple times? Because the first couple joint ventures you do, or at least the first couple joint venture deals I did, when I walked into the office of the accountant, I was not prepared. I did not do a good job. I did not get the deal done. I walked out of there feeling like I was a total unprepared idiot. But guess what? The third time I was a bit better, and the fourth time I was a bit better. And now this is just something that I kind of do in my sleep, right? Because again, I've done it literally, I don't know how many times, but it's over 100. That's for darn sure, possibly a couple hundred, right? So again, guys, you've got to practice, okay? What's the outcome? What are you prepared to? What price are you willing to pay in order to achieve it? Let me give you one more example here, guys, before we get into Q&A. I want you to be thinking, okay, like let's say there's a yoga school, and they're teaching people how to become a yoga instructor. Do they really teach people how to become a yoga instructor, or are they teaching people how to become a yoga business owner? Okay, and the answer is the latter. So how about if you partner with the yoga school, and then think of my example of the daycare that's of the Accelerated Learning Center. What you're going to do is you're going to become the business hub for the yoga school. So when I phoned one yoga school, they're going to say, well, look, the competition is going to accredit you, charge you $3,000, and wish you luck. At my place, I know that you need to be able to get the coaching clients. You got to be able to build a yoga business. So we partnered with these good-looking guys at ProfitBeforeYouPay.com, and they're going to walk you through step by step in chronological order, literally every week for 52 weeks on how to build a business. So yeah, we're a little bit more expensive. We're $4,000, and the competition is $3,000. But if you make $36,000 in your first year as a yoga instructor, as opposed to nothing, probably a decent, a pretty well spent $1,000, wouldn't you think? So what does that look like? You charge $1,000 for 12 months on your system. They bolt that onto their existing yoga fees of $3,000. Now it's $4,000. They accredit 100 yoga instructors a year. That's $100,000 with one relationship with one yoga school. And you've got 100 yoga instructors to go sell other stuff to online, DVDs and audios and different courses and whatnot. Okay. And then, by the way, if it worked for one yoga school, how many yoga schools do you think there are across Australia? How many yoga schools do you think there are around America, around Canada, England, Ireland, Scotland, Asia? Like you name it, you're online, guys. You can build. I got clients in 23 countries. Okay, so again, you can do this anywhere in the world. So, and by the way, if it works for yoga schools, do you think it might work for personal training school and realtor school and whatever, nail technician school? I mean, you name, everybody's got a program nowadays. It feels like, basically build up programs. All right. So basically, in a nutshell, guys, that's how we help you. And again, we would love to have the opportunity to be able to help you take this thing to another level. So as Luke said, Luke, let's open up the Q&A. But guys, real simple. Look, this is the offer. I'm going to pay the $5,000 to get you trained, get you set up. We're going to build an online coaching platform for you. We're going to turn you into an author if you're not already one. We're going to get you a home study course. We're going to write all the material. And we got 13 full-time staff. We do nothing more and nothing less than build this thing out. You're going to have niches pre-built in 120 different categories of business. You're going to have a website that costs $1 million to build with your picture, name, brand on it, and it's going to look like it's your own. So when you go to the accountant's office, he's not going to, look, I didn't build this thing from scratch, guys. Like, I'm not the IT guy, okay? So again, feel very, very comfortable. What you've done is you've partnered with the best provider of these online services in the world. So you just say, my partners and I spent $1 million. My partners and I have taken 7 years to get this thing up and running. They don't have to know that, at what stage you came in. That's completely up to you, what you do and do not want to say, but I don't know why you'd position it any other way than, look, my partners and I spent $1 million building this thing, and it's got your picture, your name, your brand on it, so there'd be no reason why they wouldn't think that, it was you that basically came up with the entire concept. And by the way, that's completely okay with us. And it's totally, but you got to stay in integrity, guys. Obviously, you would do that, but you position it the way you want to position it. If you want that, go to coachingclientsnow.com. We'll get together one-to-one, and I'll walk you through exactly what the dynamic is. We're going to pay all the upfront fees to get you started. You got to pay a few $100 a month to, basically just for us to manage everything. We're going to give you a coach, and we're going to, basically get you out of the blocks. Understand that we know if you don't make money and you don't get coaching clients, we stop getting paid. Okay, so that's the way the relationship works, and we understand that, and that excites us, doesn't scare us. Okay, so if you're right for us, and we're going to go through a little application process, there will be that opportunity for you guys to do it. And I'm doing it for 25 and 25 only. And I will tell you guys, that might sound like, oh, okay, but they're doing it for 100. I ain't paying for all the fees for 100 folks. That's not happening, right? We're doing this as a beta test with Luke. Luke kicked me in the pants, and this is his Christmas present to his list, and he wanted me to do this. And I said, okay, cool, let's do it. Let's have a bit of an experiment and see how it all comes out in the wash. So, guys, go to Coaching Clients Now and grab a time. So, Luke, my friend, I want to do some Q&A, guys, if you've got any questions. Luke, do we have any?
Yeah, we do. We've got a bunch. First of all, I just want to thank you, Karl. That was a lot of content. I knew you were going to deliver, but you really over-delivered. So thank you again for coming on and giving up your time for that. That was awesome. The first question is, there's a bunch here. Can you check out all the niches that are available. So how many niches were on the platform, Carl?
120. And by the way, some are built out further than others, but we've got 120. So when you want to pick your niche, and you don't need to pick one, but you pick, multiple, but like I would, encourage you to keep them nice and tight. Like I go to business coaches, accountants, and business brokers, but business coaches predominantly big time. So you can get 3 synergistic ones, but there's 120 is the answer.
Perfect. Thanks, Carl. And I think, does this work in, say, like the Middle East and UK and other countries?
Yeah, answer. Look, again, we got clients all over the world. In fact, we actually have a UK version, where it's got an English accent, and we use pounds instead of dollars. So answer's yes.
And okay, is there a fee to get started?
Yeah, no, well, there absolutely is, but there's not in this agreement. The first 25 folks through this, deal that you and I are doing, 25 folks, I'm paying. Again, it costs me $5,000 to get you trained. You're going to get a one-to-one coach. You're going to get a book written for you. You're going to have a home study course. You're going to have $1 million website. You're going to have the IT, all the platforms built with your picture, your name, your brand, and your domain name hooked up to your bank account, so all the money goes to you. I'm paying for all of that for 25 folks.
Perfect, thanks, Carl. And there's a question here from Mark. So, Carl, am I clear? You charge $1,000 a month to the business, or $97 a month, or both? And maybe I can field this question. So, Mark, it's $97 a month for. You can sell the membership site that Carl just took you through in a couple of different ways. So you can sell it as just a recurring monthly revenue where the people go through it themselves for $97 a month or $497 a month. I think you said, Carl, that on the high end, some of your clients charge $497 just for the membership site, or you can go as low as $97. Again, it's up to you what you charge for the membership site. That's where they do it themselves. But for $1,000 a month and up for the high-ticket clients, that's where you do it with them. So they'll still go through the membership site, but then you get on the phone once a week or once every 2 weeks, and they're actually paying to get your expertise and get on the phone with you to go through the strategies and implement the strategies. Is that right, Carl?
That's it. So and you could have another model in the middle where it would be group coaching. Okay, where again, imagine if you had a group coaching model, and basically. The audio, the video, the workbook, the text was built before you got started for 52 weeks, right? So you could have an audio, you could have, say, 20 members at 20 clients at $500 a month, $10,000 a month recurring for your group coaching program, and it's already built. You just need to jump in for Q&A after the lesson.
Well, I think that, what I liked, I don't know if you mentioned at the start, but I was speaking to your business partner, Adrian, about this, was, if people are signing up at $97 a month or whatever it is for your membership site, and you do a free Ask the Expert call maybe once a month, and you just, you do that as a service if they have any other questions about the membership site or their strategies, blah, 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 to keep them happy and engaged, right? Well, there's going to be a certain percentage of people that get on that free call with you, the Ask the Expert call once a month or whatever it is, that will want to become a group coaching client or a one-on-one client as well.
27% is that number.
Wow.
27% is, by the way, that's if you're engaging. If you don't actively engage anybody, some people will just literally put up their hand, but you're crazy not, if you see that I've been in the site 3 times in one day, trust me, there's an itch and I'm in there scratching it. End of story. So reach out to me. You don't have to say, hey, I saw you in the back end of my membership site. You say, hey, Carl, I was thinking about you. I want to introduce myself. I was thinking about a call we had a few months ago. I was thinking about your business. I found this article. Reach out to them. And by the way, if I'm not in there, if I haven't logged in 90 days, again, reach out because I'm about to cancel. Right? So reach out and say, hey, Carl, I just want to see how things are going and what you're up to. So
sorry, go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, just 27% of the numbers when you're engaging.
Another question here is, are the membership site weekly emails automated? And I believe they are. Is that right, Carl?
Absolutely. And world-class.
Yeah. Is this a franchise?
Yeah. No. Okay, good question. Look, basically, the closest thing that we have to competition would be Action, okay, and they charge $80,000 up front to get started and about $1,200 a month. And in fact, I think I mentioned earlier, it used to cost you $50,000, $50,000 to get started with me. I completely turned that model upside down. I actually call it an anti-franchise internally, just kind of tongue-in-cheek. But I just, to sign up, the answer is absolutely not, and it's the exact opposite. If it's not working for you, you give us 30 days notice, and we shut the system off.
Nice. And how long, with this system, it's a great system, how much time do you think that they would expect to become successful?
Okay, how long's a piece of string? Again, this is not magic. It's not get-rich-quick stuff by any stretch of the imagination. It's a lot of hard work. The good news is it's a lot of hard, smart work. But I'm going to say, look, on the part-timers, like if you've got a full-time job and you're just literally getting started as a coach to see if you're any good, look, you got to be able to find 10 hours a week to be able to get yourself trained up on our step-by-step process. Because it's like going to the gym, right? If you go to the gym 1 hour a week, just stay on the couch and eat potato chips because you're not going to get anywhere, right? It's a little bit the same, where you got to be able to get the wheels rolling the same way you do on a bike. So 10 hours a week on the low end, and of course, if you're single 30-year-old guy and really want to take your career to another planet and hit 7 figures, look, give us 50 and you're going to go to the moon. More realistically, if you're a family man like myself, I've got young kids and I don't want to, I'm not going to, this stage of my life, I'm just not going to sacrifice my entire life, and sit in an office for 60 hours. 25 hours a week is what I think you're going to find a lot with the other folks.
Oh, okay, nice. And another question, do you have any other coaches that I can speak to or that they can speak to?
Yeah, well, okay, better than that. You become, a lot of clients, like companies like ours, they're trying to keep everybody away from one another. Okay, when you join forces with us, the first thing we do is introduce you to everybody. So you'll learn a lot from us. Like I've obviously got, I have a lot of experience. I've got a lot of bumps and bruises, but I've got a lot of experience in the coaching space, as do our entire executive team. But also, our coaches, you're going to be working with, like there's 500 other coaches around the world. You'll learn more from them than you will from us, as a rule. So we've got a Facebook page, and then we do a weekly group coaching call. So no problem, and better, we're going to introduce you to them all. So go for it.
Nice. And yeah, again, if you want to, book an appointment with Karl, that is coachingclientsnow.com. If there are any other more questions, now's the time to ask them. I'm just looking through if I missed any. Is there anything else that you want to add, Karl, while I'm looking through this list?
No, I think that's, look, guys, I would, look, what do I want to say? There's a bunch I want to say. It just depends on, how I earned $187,000 in my first 9 months online as a coach. The bottom line, guys, with Luke, with Karl, with anybody, you got to find a way to make recurring income. Because as long as, like, in fact, if you're a coach and you're charging an hourly rate right now, okay, please take this advice. You've got to become $1,000 a month, or you're just going to go broke or burn out. One of the two will happen. Okay, because you can't be an hourly coach. When you're going to coach your clients, you charge them $1,000 a month, hopefully more than that, but let's say $1,000 a month. If I don't show up for the coaching call, tough. Okay, I just miss out. You send me a recording. Okay, the bottom line is you got to become that. So you need to find a way. Recurring income is everything you want. And by the way, I'd be thinking when I'm picking my clients, when I talked about the niching, if I'm going to target some specific folks online, I want to know that they have recurring income as well. And in fact, I would just say this as well. Like, I want to go back to my CEP at the beginning, cognitive, emotional, and physical. You got to just take the first step, guys, and small changes matter. Okay, one little blog post, one little improvement on your LinkedIn profile, one little offer that you send out to your measly little, database at this stage of only 50 people. But the good news is when you start doing that, 50 will become 500, 500 will become 5,000. You got to take that first step. And, the analogy that I love is we've got a plane that's going to take off from Los Angeles, okay, and it's going to head towards, eastern USA, like kind of towards New York. But then we're going to take the pilot and we're accidentally going to turn we're going to turn the direction of the plane off 2 degrees. When he gets to basically where New York would be, what's happening? He's not landing in New York. He's not landing in upstate New York. He's not landing, a couple cities away. He's on his way to Europe. Okay, he's landed in Canada, right? He's in the wrong country. And basically what happens is those small little 2% increments will go a very, very long way in getting you going. And I know the internet, and I was there, guys. I'm a bit of a technophobe, okay? Again, I get laughed at a little bit internally where I've got a, pretty decent-sized 7-figure online company, and sending an email is half challenging for me, okay? Telling you more than I should on this call. But actually, I'm not that bad. But basically, guys, I'm no good on the internet. And I know that there's a lot of you here that have been on the call, and that's what you're thinking. Like, it's a little bit past me. I'm a little bit older than these guys. I'm no good. I don't even have a Facebook page. I don't like Facebook. I'm not even on LinkedIn. I've only got 500 members, and my competition has 5,000, followers. Small changes matter, and just think of day 21, day 22, you'll automatically wake up without the alarm clock. Just take one step and put it in front of the other online, and really, really good things happen. So I'll leave you just with this thought. Imagine if you were going to go to a networking function, okay, and there were 30 people in your target market just down the road. Now, you could walk an extra 2 blocks, and there was a networking function with 30,000 people in your target market, and you were going to be able to stand up and do your elevator pitch, something to the effect of, the 45-minute turnaround where you're going to find them 10 grand in 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. Would you walk the extra 2 blocks, or would you go into the room of 30? And I think, again, if I opened up the lines to all of you, one by one, you'd all say, my gosh, are you kidding me? Of course I would walk an extra 2 blocks to be able to pitch to 30,000 people in my target market. Well, welcome to the internet, okay? And it's not 30,000, it's 300,000, if not 3 million, okay? And then here's the other thing about that networking group. What if every 15 minutes we took the 300,000 people out of the room and then we brought in a new 300,000? Would that excite you a little bit? Again, that's 10, that's 10-15, that's 10-15 to 10-30. Guys, get out there and start putting some information out on the internet. Get your Twitter account active. Start posting some stuff on Facebook, testimonial from clients, successes of clients, different offers. Again, Frank Kern, we do more offers and we make more money, right? So again, stuff along that. So small changes matter, guys. That is so critical. Just take one step and put it in front of the other. Okay, and hopefully one of those steps, guys, is to say, you know what, I want to talk to Karl one-to-one, and I want to look at potentially becoming one of the 25 with Luke, and go to coachingclientsnow.com, and I will happily take an hour off of my calendar and sit down with you guys and go through it, and hopefully able to provide fill a need for you guys, and provide you a service that's going to be, incredibly enhance your coaching company. Okay, so that's what I would say in my closing, my friend.
I've got a couple more questions before we wrap up. A really great question here. What type of candidates are you looking for? What characteristics or abilities?
Yeah, wicked. Okay. Basically, business coaches with a desire to help. You've got to be, the folks that are kind of just, I drive a fast car. That does not make me a mechanic, right? We're looking for folks, if you want to be a mechanic, you got to be able to diagnose a problem and then provide a solution. We're looking for business coaches, and we're looking for hungry ones. We're looking for ones that when we give you a script and we give you a step-by-step roadmap and we give you the blog post every week and I update your video blog and you don't have to lift a finger, you just need to go to Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn and tell everybody the video's there. We want the folks that are going to action that stuff. Which really, again, we're looking for business coaches that are high-end, or we're looking for business coaches that want to be high-end.
Awesome, thanks, Karl. And how much does it cost?
Yeah, so basically a few $100 a month. Let's get together one-to-one. There's a few different, there's a few different levels, but the nuts and bolts of it, guys, I'm going to be spending the $5,000 to get you started. So a few $100 a month. You got to cover IT, you got to cover some of our hard costs, and that's it for 12 months.
Awesome. And this was a question I've asked multiple times, but as asked again, thanks. Is there going to be a replay for this webinar at all, or are we just doing it live?
Well, we'll probably end up doing it all. Let's see how it all goes. Well, Christmas is coming, and again, I'm planning on booking a bit, but let's chat about that. I'm sure we'll send out a replay for those that are hungry for it.
Okay, cool.
But we're doing another one, and I would imagine we'll do an encore in the early new year. That's what we normally do.
Yeah. Okay. We'll probably, so to answer that, yeah, I agree. I don't think we'll provide a replay, but we will do an encore early next January, early next year. Okay, great question here. Does this work for coaches that are very new or have a really small database at this point?
Yeah, okay. There's my ideal client. But sometimes, you know, it's like old dogs, new tricks can be a little bit challenging. A lot of the time when we get somebody, when we get a, you know, somebody that we can kind of form a little bit better on the, you know, at the early stages, that can be a lot easier for us, as opposed to, you know, because so many old school coaches tell me, oh no, Karl, my clients want to get together one-to-one. No, this is the way it is, right? And I say, look, that's, you know, sorry, man, I got clients in 23 countries and I don't, you know, haven't met 98% of them. So I don't think that's necessarily true. So answer is somebody new can be stinking fabulous for us. I need you to be hungry, though. And when we give you the blog post, you got to go post it.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I love about the about what you do, Karl, it's basically everything's done for you.
100% done for you, guy. But yeah, look, here's what we need, though. That the coaching is what I don't do, right? You got to show up and you got to be on the phone every single week with your clients, and you got to be motivational, and you got to care and care at a level that's like insane. And in fact, guys, like my brother, Luke, and you know this, but like my brother committed suicide when I was 16 years old. Why? Because a business failed, right? This is like insanity. That's what happens when businesses fail. Like, you know, really good fathers become poor fathers for a period of time while their business is failing. Okay, and when they're poor fathers, their kids develop bad habits that they've got to shake out of them later on. But again, guys like my brother out there, A-type personalities, you know, doing insane things with totally unnecessary, right? So that's what we're looking for. We can't do the coaching, but we need people that are going to be hungry and on the phone, right? I got 2 arms and 2 legs, and I really want to make an impact. And, you know, this is, you know, very legitimately, guys, this is about impact and helping these folks, right? These small business owners. So we do it all, but what we don't do, you got to be that coach on the. So we do all the, you know, the back end stuff, and we make it really easy for you to be a killer coach on Monday at 2 o'clock with your individual client.
Yeah. Yeah, love it. I think that's all the questions, Karl. If there are any other questions before we wrap up, now's the time to ask. But I think, you know, again, thanks, Karl. I want to appreciate you giving up your time and delivering this training to, you know, to my tribe and my list. So I appreciate it.
Not a problem, my friend. And also, look, want to honor you, my friend. You sent out a couple emails. You told us you'd put some folks in the event, and you certainly did that. So I appreciate it, and I hope everybody got something out of it. And again, any questions or whatever, again, you can reply. You know, you guys will have some emails for us for the go-to webinar that'll go to my staff, and I can answer any questions that you've got. And if you want to get together one-on-one, let's get there. But Luke, again, thank you so much, buddy. And you got a great database, you got a great magazine. I love reading your emails. Actually, and guys, collectively, I'd all like to say this. Luke, you got the best picture in the entire coaching industry, dude. I get that. I go, this is one fun bastard, man. I love it. But then you do a Skype call with him, and boom, there's the photo, and I'm like, he's smiling again. So yeah, I love that, Luke. But again, I know you know, we share that, dude. We're in this for the small business owners and really want to help these folks. So I honor you for that. I thank you for that, and thanks for bringing the folks. And I hope it was good.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. It was great. It was great. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So they're saying amazing stuff. Thanks, Karl. Thanks, Luke. You know, they're really appreciative of you, Karl, as well for delivering that. So I'm just saying thanks from them to you.
Thank you, sir. And everybody have a lovely day, and hopefully we'll get together.